Real women murders, not fiction. Love women, don't kill them. Giving real women, unknown women, recognition to the world. Please support our channel and please subscribe.
Was a mother of 3 and a grandmother. Her boyfriend, also a police officer, wants people to remember her as an amazing officer and family woman. Jonathan Daniel Baba tells us, Tiff was also the most hardworking, amazing, and fiercest officer that I have ever known. My heart is shattered as she was my love, my rock, and my strength. He says Enriquez loved her 3 daughters and her 2-year-old grandson dearly. They were her world and would speak praises of them all the time. Enriquez was born in Hawaii and grew up in Tennessee. Her father was in the military, so she spent some time in Germany and Guam as well. Enriquez graduated from Simon Sanchez High School in Guam.
We come from a small island on Guam, so like our families knew each other. My mom was a cop. She knows her family really well. And then just to hear something like this, it hits close to home.
For the last year, Enriquez has been an inactive military reserve in the Air Force. She was also an athlete who competed in bodybuilding competitions. Enriquez would work out at the UFC gym in Kaka'ako on a weekly basis.
Just always smiling, always positive. Should come in random hours of the day, to letting me know, oh, I had a long week or a long shift, so I still got to get it in. Well, I mean, nothing, like everything she said was always positive or something funny.
Family and friends will always remember her as a hero who made the ultimate sacrifice. I am devastated as she has paid the ultimate sacrifice of any law enforcement officer, but take solace in the fact that she died doing what she loved, serving and protecting the people of Honolulu.
A hero, a mother, someone that took time and effort to, put her life to help others, you know what I mean? And it takes a lot to do that.
Christy Tomashiro, KHON2 News.
Police and firefighters swarmed a neighborhood at the base of Diamond Head yesterday.
Authorities say a gunman shot and killed 2 police officers. The suspect then reportedly started a fire that spread to several homes. Officers had been responding to a stabbing on Hibiscus Street. Police say a woman was stabbed in the leg.
She was screaming. She was like, get me out of here. Or me and one other lady picked up the old lady, brought her across the house inside the garage, closed the garage.
When the shots rang out, everybody moved, and when it was chaotic. It was like a war zone. He wasn't going to leave that house, and he was going to take everybody down. And I'm just so thankful that I was behind that wall.
I'm sure this is the last thing that anybody would expect, and so how one person's anger can actually negatively impact an entire neighborhood.
Officers Tiffany-Enriquez and Kaulike Kalama were killed in the incident. They both had children. The 69-year-old suspect has now been identified as Jerry Hanel.
Neighbors say that he had a long history of run-ins with police. Investigators believe he is dead, but they have not found his body yet. What's the very latest? Mileka.
Aloha, good morning, Steve. Grace, that is part of the effort that is expected to take place today. In fact, Honolulu firefighters have been called to the scene several times overnight, including also this morning because of flare-ups. But once they can get that situation under control, we are told that cadaver dogs will be heading out to the home where that fire is believed to have been originated, the same home where the 69-year-old suspect, Jerry Hanel, is believed to have died yesterday. Officials say they're certain they'll find what's left of his remains in the fire that he's suspected of setting after fatally shooting two Honolulu police officers. But HPD Chief Susan Ballard says homicide detectives are still actively looking for him, and until they can confirm he's no longer a threat to the community, they will do so. Now, the 69-year-old had a history of mental instability and disagreements with neighbors, according to his attorney, Jonathan Burge. A former police officer who's been representing Jerry Hanel now for years says that there were several TROs against him filed by his neighbors, at least 3 of which he had been in the process of challenging, and that most of the confrontations were minor issues. But at one point, Hanel was charged with assault for shoving a neighbor, though he was acquitted. That said, we are told that Hanel did have some very resistant efforts to suggestions that he get treatment for his mental issues. He refused to own a cell phone because he had delusions he was being tracked by the Secret Service and FBI. Chief Susan Ballard said that they were aware of his instabilities and had this to say about mental health issues in our community.
That's one of the weak areas in our social society right now, is dealing with the mentally ill. We see it in the homeless as well. And I think that's an area that really we need to move forward on and do a much better job with.
Now, it is believed that yesterday's shooting incident and then the fires that were started subsequently afterwards were sparked by an attempt from Hanel's landlord to serve a court-ordered eviction notice. It was at that point, we are told, the landlord may have been stabbed, and in response to that 911 call to address the stabbing is when the 2 police officers were shot. After that, the fires were set. So again, Hanel is one of 3 people who are still unaccounted for, 2 other unidentified women. And as soon as we have new developments on this, we'll bring you the latest details. But for now, back to you guys.
All right, thanks, Mileka.
All right, 6:34 now. As Mileka told us and just showed us, it is still an active crime scene this morning.
Our team coverage continues with Billy.
Here on the slopes of Diamond Head, it's a quiet but vibrant and active community. Lots of joggers, walkers, people coming in and out on a regular day. But yesterday that changed. Even the runners that are coming by, they weren't running. They were standing in disbelief as they looked on the scene, and the smoke was billowing from the neighborhood. We're going to show you the scene right now from our vantage point, and you can see that Diamond Head Road is closed from here all the way down to Hibiscus Drive. Nobody's allowed to walk in. Nobody's allowed to drive in, and there is no time as to that we've been given as to when they will open this up. As Mileka mentioned, it's an active scene. But with the several joggers and walkers that we've talked to this morning who did not want to be on camera, they said that this is usually a quiet, happy place, and this was utterly shocking to see this unfolding yesterday. People that were living nearby in their condominiums coming outside to see the smoke billowing and hearing shots firing, whether it be from the fire or the actual gunshots themselves. It was just, to them, a lot of them are using the word shocking this morning. So this remains to be an active scene, but this area here closed. You're having to go down to Kiele Street or the end of Kalakaua Avenue to get back to the other side, where you can exit away from this area and go east towards Diamond Head and beyond. From Kapiolani Park, Steve and Grace will send it back to you.
All right, thanks, Billy.
All right, 6:36, Honolulu Mayor Kirk Caldwell shared his sympathy over the fallen police officers.
The city and county of Honolulu and the people of Oahu, almost 1 million strong, lost 2 members of their family. and we're grieving.
And Governor Ige released a statement that said in part, quote, "As we express our condolences to their families, friends, and colleagues, let us also come together to help and support those who have been forever changed by this tragedy."
Stay with us as we continue to cover the tragedy in Diamond Head. We will bring you the very latest on air, online, and on our mobile app.
Thanks for watching. We appreciate you. Please subscribe.